Here's what's to come. Have you ever heard of Anthurium Amazon rabbit or even Philodendron angel ears? Let's tour one of the largest plant nurseries in the US known for exporting tropical plants globally. In April this year, I vacationed in Orlando and was lucky enough to tour one of the most popular tropical plant sellers known to us plant collectors. You might have guessed it, it's Ecuagenera USA. If you're new here, I live in Trinidad in the Caribbean, and rare and uncommon tropical plants are very hard to come by. Over the years, the price for such sought after plants were quite exorbitant. I am glad to see that the prices are coming down and they are becoming a lot more readily available. However, the prices that I'm going to reveal here at the Ecuagenera facility itself will blow your mind. I myself I was expecting it to be cheap, but I really didn't expect it to be mind blowing. At the end of this video, I will present some email correspondence that describes the cost and requirements to import. This Ecuagenera facility is located in Apopka, Orlando. I'll put their contact information as well as their address in the description below in case you live in Orlando and want to pop in. They're open every day, however, on Sunday they close 2 hours early, so they close at 3 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. The nursery was quite easy to find. I used my GPS and that was pretty straightforward for me. It was quite a scenic drive. It really was beautiful driving through Apopka. This was my first time, so I was really enchanted by this area. Also, the building is pretty difficult to miss. It is decked out in a number of these posters that you're seeing here that describes their work over time as well as their accomplishments. Upon entry, you're greeted by this green wall that is filled with a bunch of blooming orchids. I know it might be obvious to most, but this green wall consists of 100% living plants. If you're not familiar with Ecuagenera or you've never heard of them before, they do have a website that I'll put in the description for you all as well, where you can see their entire plant offering that's available for purchase. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. This is the first time I'm seeing their plants in person. I have visited their website, so I am familiar with their offering, but this is my first time at this facility and my first time actually getting to see their plants up close and personal. For the rest of the video, I'm going to present their entire offering at this nursery in the format of a traditional tour, highlighting the pricing and anything that I feel that you guys need to know. So I'm not going to talk through it all, but explain things that need to be explained along the way. As you can see here, the nursery is well laid out. It is quite roomy. It's really comfortable to browse. It's not difficult at all to access the plants or to do any inspections that any plant parent would want to do before purchasing. So just so that you know, it really is comfortable to shop at this nursery, in terms of the layout and the room available for you to maneuver around each section. At this nursery, I didn't expect to see amendments on sale and more so pots and accessories that you'll see coming up, but they did have bits of orchid bark, lacquer, moss, there was soil cococoya, and you'll see some stakes coming up shortly. But at this nursery, it seems to be all encompassing. So even if you were just coming for plants alone, you will be able to get supplies and accessories as well. Okay, so here is where things are going to get spicy because the pricing is going to follow. What I intend to do is to pick up the plants that I'm drawn to, which will usually be the rare and uncommon ones. For example, this philodendron snowdrift. I will just grab this, and in general, throughout the rest of the video, I will grab these plants, show you the name of the plant, as well as the price. All of these prices are quoted in the US dollars. If you are Trini, you can apply a conversion rate of 6.78 or 6.8, just for you to understand how mind-blowingly cheap it is to shop here. And don't forget, at the end of the video, I'll give you guys the 4-on-1 on how to process your order if you want to shop from Trinidad and not make it all the way to here to Orlando, as well as, just to give you all an idea of what the landed cost would be, because of course the retail cost does not include shipping and handling. In this section, you'll see how the plants are packaged for shipping or when they're having a pop up. All the plants are taken out of soil, they're placed in moss, and they're wrapped in plastic just for protection. But if you are thinking about importing, this is how you can expect to receive your plant packaged like this with a label and just well secured. In this clip, you'll notice that the pricing is written with marker on the plastic itself. So you'll see $40, $30, $35. That is actually the price. So if you just zone in a little bit onto the plastic itself, you'll see what the US price is. This philodendron, I'm not gonna lie, was half my height. I am 5'7". This was about 4 feet or 4.5 feet tall. This space was another decorative area featuring again all live plants, but primarily foliage plants, not much florals. What was super interesting to me was the mounting of anthuriums onto branches or old trees. They also mounted bromeliads. That was new, a new concept for me. Here's a plant that really shocked me in terms of what the genus was. I will comment below if you guessed, but this is actually a caladium. Would have never guessed that it's a caladium. I thought maybe a philo or even an anthurium, but definitely not a caladium. Comment below if you guessed right. If you hop onto the Ecuagenera USA site, you will see that you have the option to buy different sizes in the plants that you're interested in. So if you want a mature specimen or a seedling, you have those options and the price would reflect accordingly. This section of plants that you're currently seeing is actually a mix of a bunch of different genuses, so from anthuriums to phyllos to caladiums, like you saw before. However, the bulk of the nursery is not arranged like this. It is quite organized, and you'll see coming up that there are different sections for different genuses of plants, and all the same plants are grouped together. This seemed to be an area that they were sorting, so there were a bunch of different plants grouped together that needed to get sorted and put back into their relevant sections. Okay, so pretty much we just covered their entryway. It consisted of all their markdown plants, all their plants that were on sale, seedlings, stuff like that. And we're moving into the main area of the nursery that I mentioned before, which is organized by genus. So here's where we're going to see all the same plants grouped together. It's a lot more organized, and again, it's really roomy to be able to traverse the entire space and really get to have a closer look of each plant comfortably. They have an abundance of anthuriums, some I never even heard of, and they are to the forefront of the nursery. They are quite abundant in the entryway as well, and I'm thinking the nursery is arranged this way because of the popularity of anthuriums currently. But later on in the video, you'll see where all the phyllos are stored: syngoniums, hoyas, alocasias, all of them come after. Here's a quick tip. If you're shopping online and you see that a plant is listed as out of stock, don't take that as solid information. I would actually email them via their customer service portal and inquire on if maybe they're going to restock soon, or if they have any available at the nursery. And if you live in Orlando, you can just pop in and pick it up. But don't bypass their customer service portal online, where you can directly email them to inquire about plants that you may be seeing out of stock online. They will be able to give you availability statuses, and hopefully you'll get that plant sooner than later. Also, just a reminder, don't forget at the end of the video I will describe the ordering process in much more detail, including a screen recording of how to traverse their website and the associated cost to import. This area was closed off. I don't know if it was made inaccessible because there were some variegated plants in here, smaller plants. Maybe this is where they fulfill orders, but I couldn't access this section. But I'm trying to zoom in to give you all just maybe a peek of what's happening in this area. I'm going to move right along to this rolling cart of seedlings. So these are priced anywhere between $20 and $30. That's US dollars. And while this immediate section that I'm in was just completely dedicated to anthuriums, so just in an attempt to not make this video longer than an hour, I'm hoping I'm just going to bypass those sections. I did traverse it to see if there was anything of interest or just anything unique to highlight, but I didn't find much, so I'm just going to head on to the second or third, actually, if we count the entryway, the third part of the nursery. I'm just making my way down this final aisle in the anthurium section just to point out some Hoyas as we exit the anthurium section, but these are some pretty large hybrids here in this last section. And as I make my way out, you're going to see me focus on those Hoyas on my right. My apologies, it was not Hoyas, it was actually a Ceratostema. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. That's the name up on the screen there as I screenshot the label for y'all. If you have information on this plant, please feel free to comment below. I would love to find out more about the species. I had to double back quickly to show you all this one. This was a crystal Dressleri hybrid. I couldn't leave without giving you all a close-up of this. It's an anthurium crystal dress, the inverse crossing, so I'm assuming that's crystallinum by Dressleri. Of course, I got distracted again because these hybrids are new to me. I've never heard of them before. Anthurium Amazon Beauty. So I was immediately drawn to them. And don't worry, I promise we're going to get to the phyllos and other genuses soon. Yes, you read right. This is an Anthurium Amazon rabbit. There's no doubt in my mind that Ecuagenera USA has the widest variety of anthuriums available currently, including their hybrid selections. Like, I couldn't keep up. There was so many I didn't know about, and if this is your favorite genus or favorite type of plant, I definitely recommend that you check them out because the variety is beyond. I would love to know where else you guys shop. I would like to diversify my collection, so please comment below if you have another spot that maybe I should check out or do another tour or visit. I would love to find out where you guys shop too. But in terms of Ecuagenera USA, like, I can't keep up with the amount of anthuriums they have with respect to the variety available. I wasn't able to find much strapleaf anthuriums, just an anthurium vitrifolium, but I did inquire about anthurium windlingrii, and they didn't have available here, but they did have coming in. So if you are in Orlando and it's now July, I did this recording in April. Maybe you could double back now, or again use their customer service portal online and inquire. But they were getting in stock if you're interested in anthurium windlingrii. And finally, as promised, we're heading into the third section, which is filled with Syngonium first. In this area was a sea of caladiums. If you're unfamiliar with the Ecuagenera website, you'll see that they have a category called tropical plants. That's where all of these plants that I am unfamiliar with, I was able to find them. For example, that rhodospatha, I never heard of it before, but I know it's in their tropical plants category. At this point, I was trying to look for plants that were popular right now, plants that you all have been asking me about on Instagram for those who are interested in shopping from Ecuagenera. So I was just bypassing these because they weren't on my list of popular plants to find. They included some Calathea. So I'm just mentioning here for y'all who didn't put in a request, just so that you know that they do have Calathea. I am a sucker for alocasia. I know they are really difficult species for some, but I just never give up on them. I understand that they go dormant, and when they want to grow for me, I allow them, and when they want to go dormant, fine. So I was so excited to just beeline to the alocasia section just to see if there were any species I didn't know of that they had available. So here I am checking out that section. This is one, for example, that I never heard of, Alocasia green eunuch. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. If you have information on this, please comment below. It seems as though they are so stocked with anthurium that they even popped up in the alocasia section. I ran down here to show y'all some Anthurium regal or regali species that they have available. They are absolutely stunning. The veining was really elaborate, and I couldn't bypass it, even though I know the first probably three-quarter of this video is Anthuriums, but for those who love this species, I couldn't bypass it. I had to show y'all. In this section was some really stunning philodendron. Prior to this, you would have seen the philodendron angel eyes, and this is the philodendron esmeralda spirit. The emergent leaf or leaves in both cases come out either fuchsia pink or a really bright red or even a deep red wine. It has a lot of red hues. Similar to, I guess, a lot of emergence on anthuriums, but these hybrids were really, really stunning. This was an anthurium dressleri for $70 US. In this section, they housed a ton of Hoyas. You'll see me pan through the area. It is as much as the eyes can see. I am unfamiliar with Hoyas, so they weren't like something I was super interested in. I immediately got distracted by their philodendron verrucosum offering. I know they have different hybrids of verrucosum as well as different verrucosum species entirely, so I was super excited to check out this section. For example, this philodendron verrucosum Amazon sunset, the species was just absolutely stunning and vibrant in person. I literally galloped towards this philodendron luxurians. I have been wanting to replace that plant in my collection for years now, but unfortunately I didn't come prepared to shop on this trip. It was really just a fluke that I had extra time on my family vacation to be able to pop in and do a tour here. So I wasn't able to shop on this trip, but at least I feel more comfortable to do so on their website, especially as I've, touched base and familiarized myself with the layout and quality of plants. At this point, I'm making my exit because my family was back to pick me up, and I'm just giving you guys some final views of how huge the facility is. And don't forget, coming up next, I'm going to just give you guys a quick review of their website and ordering process. Okay, so this is what their website looks like. On their homepage, you're going to find all their contact information there. And I know you're seeing a sign for my Trini viewers that says US shipping only, but don't worry, I have additional information for you guys if you want to import to Trinidad. But pretty much, this is their drop down menu. And what I was interested in is their aroids. Under that category, you're going to see all the different genuses. Outside of that, tropical plants will also contain plants that did not belong to those categories. So don't forget. Okay, specifically for my Trini viewers, this is what I found out. I sent an email to sales@ecuagenerausa.com, and this was the response that was given to me based on the questions that I asked about importing tropical plants to Trinidad. As you can see from the response above, you can place orders via this email address, marketing@ecuagenerausa.com. They do export to Trinidad and it takes 24 to 48 hours to prep your order. You are required to have an import permit as well as pay for a phytosanitary certificate, which is $70 US. They ship your order via UPS, and depending on the size of your order, they'll recommend when is the best shipping time, how long it will take, and an approximate cost to ship to you. All in all, I was super happy to get this information to share with you all, so feel free to contact them and ask them all your questions. The customer service was exceptional. And that's a wrap on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour and just the little bits of information that I was able to find out. I hope it can be useful to you all, both for my US following or anyone who's just looking to shop from Ecuagenera, but specifically I hope this is shedding some light for my Trini viewers who do want to get away from these super high price points that we have to pay just because they are imported plants, and they have to be acclimated and all the rara that we get just to justify the exorbitant prices that we pay locally. I'm hoping that we all can just be a little more adventurous and try importing ourselves.